Time now for your forewarned weather with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy.
Checking back in with Alana now. Hot today, but things expecting to heat up through the week.
Boy, Alana, can we catch a break, huh?
I feel like the mercury's going to keep rising whether we like it or not. We tied that record today. More of that to come, friends. Hot and hazy for your Wednesday, our first day underneath that excessive heat warning. Great video coming from the Great Salt Lake. Scott Taylor catching those hazy conditions. Wildfire smoke noticeable throughout the state, taking away from our clear conditions. Great shot from Sundance. Wendy Bowman catching that one. But you see, it's not that crystal clear that we typically see. A little cooler up in the higher elevations. Great way to beat the heat is you go higher, and hopefully you're not dealing with the triple digits. We will be, though, into tomorrow. As we look at our smoke tonight, winds relaxing, and we see that smoke pushed in with our northerly flow to northern Utah, and that thicker smoke in and around south central Utah continues. So we are seeing some clearing on the eastern side of the state, but the hazy conditions will linger into tomorrow. Air quality does take a bit of a hit here. With our extreme heat and lots of sunshine, we see that chemical reaction that causes ozone spike. On top of that, we've added particulate matter to the mix. So unhealthy air for sensitive groups from Weber County all the way to Utah County, Box Elder, and Tooele County. Moderate air expected on the northeastern side of the state. Cache Valley will hit moderate air. Great shot from Lone Tree, Wyoming. Thanks, Mike, for sending that one in. Pretty sunset there, a little clearer with those conditions. Now let's talk heat. I don't have to tell you it's hot. You were out today. You felt it. I'm cracking the garage a little bit because it's unbearable in there. As we look at the heat warnings, our excessive heat warning in effect for a bulk of the Beehive State, including the Wasatch Front, Box Elder, Cache Valley, Sanpete and Sevier Valleys, the Swell, the Basin, and now you see in orange those heat advisories. St. George has been dealing with this since the weekend, and peak heating for the south is on the way tomorrow. It's still 90 degrees in Salt Lake City. It's 102 in St. George, and we are past 10 p.m. We look at those temperatures, and they tell the story. We're not getting much recovery overnight, which is one of the reasons we have the excessive heat warning issued. 80s when we close things out. That'll feel like a break. Mid-70s for the overnight. That adds to heat stress on the body if you're not in an adequately cooled position. Mid-80s by 9 a.m. with lots of sunshine. We were hot today. We're going to get hotter tomorrow. That area of high pressure moves over the Beehive State into our Thursday. It will center up, and that really spreads the potential of record-breaking heat. We tied the record, but it becomes a more widespread area with that clockwise flow significantly above average. Tomorrow is going to be sweltering. When we get these types of days, we look at our excessive heat risk. This is actually a heat scale based on heat impact put out by the National Weather Service. You see a lot of red 3s, purple 4s. That includes in Logan, St. George, Provo, Cedar City. These are areas where we're facing an extreme risk. Here's what that magenta risk, as we break it down, looks like. That's a very high risk and the highest the heat scale goes. Today, Salt Lake was in the red at a number 3. We see that number 4 popping up in several locations, meaning that the entire population is at a very high risk because of this prolonged period of excessive heat. Unfortunately, it's going to stay that way in the coming days because this high is in control and it doesn't want to break. You're going to watch as it kind of moves over the Beehive State, centering up tomorrow. That's when we're going to see peak heating in Washington County. You've been hot. Today was 114. We could go hotter tomorrow. Clockwise flow around the high. It's going to continue to slide east as we head into our Friday, which opens the door for a more southerly flow. It's going to drag moisture and cloud cover into the state. The clouds could play with daytime highs a little bit as we head into our Saturday and even Friday. But here we are into Sunday, and you see some wet weather starting to pop up. Slight chance the higher terrain in southern Utah could see a thunderstorm, but that becomes more pronounced as we head into next week and the end of the weekend. By Sunday afternoon and evening, more widespread chance for some storms, and that also surges north Monday and Tuesday, impacting the Wasatch Front. So you're going to notice we do eventually cool. That high moves away from Utah, and we will see temperatures dropping, but not to average. No, we stay above it along the Wasatch Front. That white hot heat starts to breathe a little bit, getting back closer to average this time of year for the St. George area, which will be a relief because it has been very tough the last several days in southern Utah. 105 tomorrow in Salt Lake, and that's conservative. I think we could go 106. So we are going to be very, very warm as we get through our Thursday. Lots of triple digits on the eastern side of the state along the I-15 corridor. I don't typically show a regional forecast that has triple digits throughout Utah, and that tells you that this heat wave really isn't messing around, so we have to be extremely careful. Taking a look at the next 7, you start to see when those storms make their way into the forecast. Slight chance Saturday night, isolated storms in southern Utah Sunday. Here's the perk. We step away from the high 100s, 115. Gee whiz, that's going to feel toasty. We get down to 104, which is a little closer and more tolerable for those in lower Washington County. Here's the Wasatch Front. Our hottest days are ahead of us. We just started here, folks. We could tie the all-time record. We'll see if that happens. 107 is the hottest it's ever been in Salt Lake. Today in St. George, it was the hottest temperature in Utah this year.